Oh yeah, I can't wait to do this one. This is good.
Okay. First off, we were absolutely correct on what you should do with the Infinite Atlas.
This game's not going anywhere. So if you're pissed at it now, come back in 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, whatever. Maybe it'll be better then.
I got a coworker who walked up to me and he's like, "Did you see that grenade launcher unique?"
Hey Exiles, welcome to episode 5 of the Brothers in Exile podcast, a weekly or bi-weekly pod about Path of Exile 2 with two in real life brothers. I am Talkative Try, my co-host Cast on Comet is ready to gloat about all things patch 0.5 because while we were wrong on just a couple things, we were actually right on the bulk of our predictions. Let's get right into it with the Endgame Atlas, the revamp, the additions. Cast on Comet, go for it. You can have your time in the sun right now if you want to.
Okay. First off, we were absolutely correct on what you should do with the Infinite Atlas. Every league mechanic has its own area. We were spitballing at each other. I remember we were talking about a coastline. Like I'm like, I want to see the edge of Ray class. I want to see a continent. Expedition has that. I want to see where the Abyss is coming from. Now Abyss has that. There is everywhere. And on top of that, we're like, that'd be pretty cool. But another direction could be a mega dungeon. And then GGG was like, what about both? We'll just take the two and slam them together. So I mean, just like, it's kind of crazy that we spitballed ideas. And like, as it was revealed behind in the screen in front of my eyes, I just got to see like, oh my gosh, didn't we like predict this? Didn't we say this would be an awesome idea? It is so great to love a game. It's even better that when it gets an update, it gives you everything you wanted. So I'm just way up here, right? Ready for the update.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Return of the Ancients. It's a massive update, just like we massively updated your microphone too. So in the comments, let us know, guys. Is Cast on Comet's new mic, Blue Yeti, good? Bad, worse than before? Hopefully not, because before I could hear when there were little pitter patters on the floor from I don't know, an ant that was in your house. So much better now. I was gonna go with mice.
No,
I don't think your house would have mice. Maybe
no mice. They died before we got here. Okay, ants are non-existent. There are earwigs, and I don't know how to get rid of them.
Oh, well, yeah. Earwigs suck. Hey, the earwigs look very similar to the monsters in the new league, Runes of Elder. There's a lot of insects. Apparently, there's like 30 plus monsters, so that's going to be sick. We got the spider. We got the earwigs. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, so you look at this update. You look at the Atlas is one thing. All the revamped stories. Then you got the new main story with the Arbiter of Divinity. Then you got the new league. Then you got all the other crap on top. I mean, what?
GGG, please.
What if?
Please.
Right.
This is honestly so great. The update is so. I'm sorry. I'm glazing everywhere. I'm glazing all over this update. All right. This is so good. And you know what? They added an Atlas search function.
They did.
That right there. That was just like, for me, I was just like, yes, please.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be used.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't think it's gonna be nearly as clogged as before either, because you're probably gonna, I think, stay nearer to the center for a lot longer instead of flying outward and then, running all these nodes looking for citadels. So it's totally going to be a completely new experience. I can't wait to play on May 29th. I know that I've already booked my PTO. I don't know if anybody watching has submitted their PTO requests. I have to do so many weeks in advance at Cast and Comment. Have you done that?
I am in negotiation phases right now, okay, with the different layers of management. Well, first, my wife and son, and then my actual work boss, all right?
Right.
Okay, so it's got to go through the different layers, but, like, you know what? I have plans. I have ideas. I'll not say them here because I already have my leak starter planned, and I know that's a complete mistake. I get it. We don't know the patch notes. Comet's gonna get nerfed 3 times in a row, but I have an idea. I have a plan, and I am just so ready so ready for this league. Okay, I can't say that enough. I'm sorry. Okay, it's so great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I don't
okay.
want to crush your dreams, brother, but one,
No,
you never
no.
say, especially if you're an aspiring content creator, you literally never say, my league starter is planned before patch notes. That's crazy talk. Don't do it. I know you were jesting about posting a video like top 12 league starters using Mage Blood and comment PoE 2 0.5, whatever. Don't do that. Bad AI generated thumbnail, terrible idea. Two, this obsession with comment, I know it's coming. The only archetype they talked about in the Q&A that was going to get touched and that they were dissatisfied with are trigger skills. So I think if anything isn't safe, it's trigger skills. And then if you actually look at what they said about like life leech and how that's changing, that hits trigger skills quite a bit because it nerfs the blood mage survivability. So I think that's not going to get the GGG triple tap. I think it's going to get the Jonathan Rogers juicy destruction because I think that he hates what he saw with the temple. And I'm being a little generous there. He hates what he didn't see with the temple because he couldn't see anything on any stream, any video that was using the spark or whatever comment tech. I mean, so it's dead. It's dead.
I mean, that's what the loot filter's for. You can see the actual items you want to drop, right? Because like, let's throw it back in GGG's face. All right, right here. You want me to see stuff?
Yeah.
What's going on with the fucking loot filter? All right, F-bomb there. All right. I mean, like I did my loot filter, and I would crash my computer for all the just things pop up. I don't want to see the scroll of wisdom when I'm level 85 or 95 running temple. I got comments everywhere. Like, what is that, right? You want a dog on comment? Go right ahead. It'll take the punches. It's gonna suck in 0.5 probably. Yes. I'll still play it. But you gotta, readability, visibility. It's not just comment, man. It's just not
it
just
isn't,
comment.
But the loot filter, it hides loot. That's what its job is. Come on. You can edit it to hide loot. And let's be real. Temple's dead. You're never seeing that much loot on screen again, bro. I know you think maybe you will it like in the far-flung future, but you won't see that much loot on your screen for a long time. You're not going to be able to scale anything to that amount, I reckon, unless there's a bug. And after the whole debacle with snaking and the fact they wanted to remove it, and they were very explicit about that in the Q&A, Jonathan basically said, we wanted to remove it. We realized we could, because they did for a moment, and then they reverted it. I think they're going to act on that stuff so fast because for a lot of players, not myself personally, but for a lot of players, it ruined that entire league. And it could have been completely avoided if GGG like made a statement and said, hey, we're going to fix this. Nobody abuse it. If you abuse it, we're going to ban you. We're going to whatever. Like that whole, I don't think it's going to happen again. If I were them and I saw how huge a hit that whole temple thing had on the league, I would put fail safes in place. I mean, if we overspend a campaign by $1,500, we implement fail safes. Essentially, I can only imagine how much that hit their bottom line because of the number of players that dropped off. Not only because of the snaking, but the whole Holton debacle. Like PoE 2 has
a whole different story. Holton's a whole different story. Right?
PoE 2 has so much more of a spotlight on it, I feel, than Path of Exile 1 ever did. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in 050.
It's crazy that everyone's like 0.4 had a terrible economy. The divine inflation was crazy. That was the best economy I ever partook in. Better than 0.3, better than 0.1, better than 0.2. That's the best economy so far. Right, so I'll jump off the temple bus. Yeah, it's gonna get nerfed. We're not gonna get the exact same returns as we were running temple, but I do want to push back a little bit. We don't know the Atlas skill. We don't know the Atlas tree for temple yet. We don't know what the nodes are saying. We don't know what the tablets are gonna do for temple. We don't know all the buffs temple might get from those other sources because remember, we were just running temple as a mechanic with no buffs, just temple. So I'm really curious to see what GGG does there, right? Because like, is snaking disabled from the get-go, or is it like enabled in the Atlas skill tree? Is there a node you can take that just says like negative 50% all modifiers, but you can lock your rooms? Like, is that going to be a thing? Like, is that gonna be a massive hit? That's and those are the things that like we're like see when the league comes out, right? We don't know all of these things, and we're just going to be spinning our wheels for the next 2 weeks with chickens with their heads cut off, right? Trying to understand what this league is going to be, right? And all we have is we got these like little teaser videos, we got these this little website here with the ancients. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Temple, because I agree, but it could be good again. It could be good again, brother.
We talked about niching stuff down and how the temple could be the corruption place and the currency place. Yeah. Maybe that will be the direction it goes, because obviously ritual, uniques, omens, offering to the king, expedition, the 7,057 Socketables that are currently going to be in Path of Exile 2 with the 050 update. And if you look at temple, what is it going to have? It's going to have corruption mechanics, the uniques, the special Atziri uniques and the like, and maybe you can juice up currency, or maybe there are some other rewards that they've added. They did say that they added some new reward rooms. They didn't detail what those were, so maybe there are some interesting things you can only find on the temple. Or honestly, that would be interesting if they did add some of these risk reward keystones that edit your temple and allow you to do some sort of like pseudo snaking or just new temple strategies. That'd be great. It really would. I would hate to, this is what I would hate to see. Them adding temple to game and nerfing it massively, and then the keystones will like basically bring it up to where it was before, you know, or not even where it was before, but you know, in the shadow of its former self. I want to see the keystones drastically change the way the temple works or the mechanic works.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine if there's a keystone where, you know, the encounters that you have in maps to build the temple, right? Wait, are you pointing at me? What's going on?
I'm giving you the floor.
I'm
Come
cooking.
On,
okay, I'm
keep
cooking.
Rolling. Keep rolling.
Keep
cooking the pot.
Say there's a big keystone that essentially says, hey, the runes, I don't even remember what they're called anymore, but the lights that activate your temple, whatever, no longer contribute rooms to your temple. Instead, it juices up the encounters on your maps to the mpth degree, or it opens up a portal to a random room in the temple at a random upgrade level. To say like every time you do an encounter, instead of slowly building your temple, there's a chance that you hit jackpot, you know, maybe a 0.5% chance, and you just go into Atziri's chambers and you fight Atziri. Or you just get, you know, the basic currency room or the guard room, whatever. I think that would be a really fascinating keystone.
So one thing that I think I'm picking up on that you're throwing down, right, is the previous Atlas skill tree was like 60% increase to this, 15% increase to this. But what you want to see a more direction of is that not these just generic increases, but adding on completely different ways to interact with Temple, completely different ways to interact with these league mechanics. And honestly, I think looking at the pathofexile2.com/ancients webpage, you have some merit there. If you look at the Atlas skill tree changes, right? We're not getting shown 15% increase item rarity or whatnot, like just generic nodes. We're getting shown like full on. Hold on here. Let's scroll down. Where is it?
As merry spirits may seek out and possess strong boxes may roll greater versions of existing suffix modifiers, and the risk reward with the shrine where you enter a boss room, 25% chance all your shrine buffs are reapplied, or the boss gets a shrine buff and gets an extra reward.
Yeah, those are completely different ways to interact with the end game. And I think we're going to see more of that. So I think you got some merit there, to be honest, right? Maybe I don't want to build a temple. I just want one to be randomly generated every time I run it. And maybe I collect like 100% more of those Vaal crystals to go ahead and actually run another temple like that, right? So I would, you know what? Honestly, I built a little bit of a snake. I didn't get as far into it as some other people. Ran out of time, ran out of steam in the league. But I would love to see that, where maybe I don't want to invest 20 hours to build a temple, but I still want to interact with temple. How can I do this? randomly generated temples that are not probably optimized for what I want to do, but I still get to play the mechanic.
Yeah, 100%. I'm shocked that we just spent that much time talking about the temple when we don't know much about it, but I like that. I like that chat. I like that. That was good. That was good. Now we have let's start with the Atlas stuff, I guess, and we'll work our way through the rest of the update. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brand new, more than 5. It's tons of new storylines added. 6 new endgame storylines, guys. Okay. Comet. You got to pick one favorite. You'll go first, then I'll go first. Which one looks most enticing? And I'm going to say it's not just, it's not just the dashboard or the steering wheel or the wheels on the car or the leather seat. It is the whole quest line package, the whole car. All right, which one, rewards and all, looks best to you? Like, it doesn't have to be the one you're going to go for first, but it's the one that you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do this one. This is good.
I think Delirium has so much cool stuff that's been added into this update, and I want to experience Delirium this way. Previous times I have experienced Delirium, and I'm going to get some hate for this, all right? I hated it. I hated playing Delirium in the previous leagues. But now looking at this, I think this is a much more engaging way to play Delirium. I'm gonna be honest. I know you're trying to like cover your eyes during the reveal to not see the boss, but the boss looks awesome. Yeah. Looks so cool. And I think that one I'm going to actually and hold on, brother. Hold on, Try, okay?
My butts.
I'm going to experience it lore first. Ooh.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go. See, Darth Microtransaction actually knows absolutely nothing. Got another lore enjoyer here. It's good.
Yeah. All the rest of them are a blast. I don't really care what the NPC's saying, honestly. Abyss, I'll blast that. Ritual, it's a dead wife. Okay. We'll find out what the other mechanics got to say. I'll find out the lore in your video probably later.
There you go.
But Delirium looks cool. I'm just saying. As a non-Delirium enjoyer, kind of cool.
Okay, so we got not obviously, but it looks like Tang Mazu is the pinnacle boss there. I did see snippets of the boss fight. Does look sick. Looks like a double boss fight too, which is always exciting. Love those. You also have the new reward systems and the re-rolling of certain modifiers on jewelry. That's kind of cool. And you have the actual fundamental change to the way Delirium works as an encounter in maps. It doesn't appear to encase the entire map anymore. It's just I think it's a specific segment that you can get deeper and deeper and deeper into. And I don't know if it's always 3 thresholds that you hit and you get the special encounter, but it looks like there are unique encounters in each Delirium, which is also enticing because it used to just be, you're walking over like little crystals and they explode and they burst out monsters or they just do nothing. And now you actually have a mini set of goals to hit while you're doing your Delirium count, and you know when it's finished.
And the thing is that like that's really cool. You have that little meter to get more delirious. That was missing from the first one. Like I had no idea how Delirium was going. I was told to follow the fog, and the fog just went over walls. I'm like, okay, I don't know how a fog can go through a fucking wall. Okay, so sorry, we're dropping a little too many of those. We'll reel it back in. I will.
I don't curse, my man. I don't curse. It's okay. Man. DM cursed a lot yesterday too. It's fine. No, but it's like all the. I'm scrolling on the page, and obviously the presentation and there's just so much. There's so much in just Delirium. Then you have we talked about having fixed places on the Atlas for the encounters. I think for Abyss we talked about cracks being on the map. For Delirium, you get to poof fog all across the actual Atlas. Like, how do you feel about them actually embracing the world aspect as opposed to the infinitely procedurally generated blah that we used to have?
This is not a piece of paper. This is like a whole map
Yeah.
with little objects and nodes. This should have been a feature in 0.1, right? Like, I'm going to pull us back all the way back to 2012. Guild Wars 2 had world events, and you would know what's going on, and the world would react to the players a little bit there, and you'll see things happen on the map and happening around. And this right here, like, I love the fact that we're able to like modify the atlas a little bit with that fog spreading, and there's actual points of interest we can find. Like Delirium has a tree, right?
Yeah.
That's like a tree, right? Then we all go into. That's
The
super
forbidden
cool,
fruit.
right?
Yep.
The forbidden fruit, yeah, ripping that out, right? I am just I love it. I love it. And I want to see more
And
of this, right? I want to see next leagues for us to be able to like completely tear down this atlas as players. Let us leave the mark on the atlas.
yeah.
Don't let us just like clear a node, right? And
I,
I'm hoping we can do more of
I
that.
know you brought up Guild Wars 2. What went into my mind when they were exploring it? I'm sure there are other games that do it better. Everyone listening right now, drop them in the comments if you want. My mind went back to Neverwinter Nights 2: Storms of Zahir, which is a game we played when we were kids, but that also
Yeah.
had overland travel and a world map.
Yo.
I mean, even in the modern day, if you look at Clair Obscur, the world map there's not as much change, but it really reminded me of those games. So I'm glad they didn't ditch it. You know, I know you don't
Yeah.
play Path of Exile 1, but when we did talk about it before, you were actually like, hey, that is enticing. You know, maybe I would like that.
Yeah.
Grinding Your Games probably heard that from a lot of people. They saw that feedback from a lot of players, and they decided, hey, no, we're not going to do it. We're not giving up on the Infinite Atlas. We're going to, I know somebody left a comment, was like, you say cook too much. I don't think I say it too much. We're going to cook. And they cooked. And now we have this dynamic map that hopefully changes. Like, I hopefully changes when more leagues come in. Like, we're going to have the inner ring, the outer ring.
Yeah.
I've seen someone, a shout out to you in the comments, whoever you are, I don't remember your name, say, you know, by 1.5, we're going to go underground. We're going like underground Atlas.
So cool.
Like we got,
because they have an underground feature in the other maps. They are so right. They are so right.
Beneath the Atlas, because we're sailing, you know, we're traveling overworld, we're going into a fortress, we're gonna go underground. There's gonna be a whole subterranean section of the Underdark.
Oh
man, dude.
Don't bring us back to Forgotten Realms, brother.
I know. And just, you know, maybe to put the bow on Delirium itself, there are, we know of at least 2 new unique items that are being added, and this is one of the big foci of 0.5, is adding actually usable unique items. Not only in terms of, yeah, they do something cool, but that thing is also powerful, and it defines a build or creates a new playstyle. And the Raven Staff is one. And you don't know Righteous Fire from Path of Exile 1, but this is basically what it is. Beloved, you know, it's almost run around in a circle and kill stuff with fire. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's the essence. But the other one that's being added, dude, Horror's Flight. These are the unique gloves that allow you to increase the culling threshold. I talked to someone who did the math. Essentially, if you get enough stacks of Fear Incarnate on yourself, you can cull unique monsters at like 28% health and normal monsters at 60-some% health. Like, it's crazy. I almost want to try out this on Martial Artist or Acolyte of Chayula. So
yeah. What's really cool is that they're really they looked at uniques and how they're used in, I think, the previous versions of the League, and they're making uniques usable. There are so many awesome uniques that are low level, and now you can bring them up to level, and we're seeing a lot more uniques. Like, for example, those 2 uniques that were just dropped. Let's just jump over that video real quick right there. You got that Captain America shield with the eye that can teleport you and slam down like a breach lord. Like, that's really cool, honestly. And then you have, I got a coworker who walked up to me and he's like, "Did you see that grenade launcher unique?" Yeah, that's my build.
Oh yeah.
And that is just so cool. I like them going back to uniques and being able to bring them into the end game a bit more, right?
Mm.
Because throughout the campaign, there are some really cool uniques that I got. And I'm like, man, this would be so cool to build around it. Too bad the energy shield 17 on these gloves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the ruins of
And would
Alder, it's gonna allow us to
yeah,
do
the
that
rules of
too.
it
Yeah, bring up the
actually
defenses.
bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. 100%.
we don't know how many builds you can make right now.
No,
It's gonna be really
I
good.
mean, that's
And
the other elephant in the
yeah,
room, obviously, is we don't have patch notes. So
we
there
don't.
we've seen the content additions, but a whole
Yeah,
segment of Path of Exile 2, pretty sizable, is planning your build, your character,
yeah,
and they did downplay the number of balance change, and downplay is the wrong word, but they did like try to set expectations and say, hey, we put a lot of work into the content, so the balance might be light. I mean, number
don't say it.
adjustments. Number
Don't
adjustments,
say it.
are those
Don't
are
say
those
it.
tough?
Listen.
I won't say it, but let's see.
I'm sure they triple buff Comet. I'm sure they made Comet
Right.
a cast time of 0.05,
Well, they
right? Cast time.
they highlighted
and it
it
had no cooldown still.
with the
I saw
Calgarian
that, right?
skills.
See,
They were highlighting Comet. I
I
was
saw
thinking of
that.
you when they they showed Comet multiple times.
I was thinking of myself when I saw that comment, okay?
Of course.
All right. I
Narcissist.
saw that comment, I'm like, ooh, comment. Right?
Okay.
I'm curious. We'll wait for patch notes.
Yep.
But the content in this update has been superb. We've talked about uniques. We've talked about Delirium. Brother, what are you excited for? What is the league that you will run first?
I mean, everybody 100% knows what I'm most pumped for. It's not a league. Dude, it's the Arbiter of Divinity questline. It's not just the fact that it's one of 2 brand new content systems in the game. It's Ruins of Alder and the Arbiter of Divinity. This is going to start the entire storyline for PoE2's Endgame, much like we saw way back in, what was it, 2013 or 2014 with War or the Atlas of Worlds expansion in Path of Exile 1. I didn't play back then. I only joined PoE 1 in 2019. So this is kind of me getting to live in that moment. All of us really getting to live in that moment where we're seeing the inner workings of how this whole narrative is going to start. So I'm really pumped for that. I even made like a lore video leading up to this, theorizing that, the first edict is when Divinity was introduced into the world, and I got called a fool by some lore hounds in the comments. And what are we fighting? We're fighting the Arbiter of Divinity, and he literally says something about like the first edict, or like, I am the weapon of the first edict, or whatever. And I'm like, look at this. This is so good. So I'm pumped for the story. I'm pumped for all the new environments, because it looks like every single tile set of the fortress is brand new. And they also have these like traps in them and all these mechanical arenas, essentially. All the mob types in there look varied and completely new too. That's where a lot of the new pinnacle, or just general bosses and pinnacle bosses, are going to be. So it's just brand new territory. While I am pumped up for the revamps and all the additions there, this is where my heart lies. I am booking it north as soon as I hit Endgame, 4, 5, 6 hours in on my martial artist or spirit walker, whatever. And I am doing that tower. I'm getting my tablet, and I am raising that fortress from the ground and entering it as soon as I get the keys available. That's what I'm most pumped for by far.
So you theorize that the first edict brought Divinity into the world of Path of Exile, into Rayclass, right, and everywhere else. Do you know who this guy is? This angel with like a spear, and he's like, I am the first edict. I am Divinity. Do you have a theory on who he is? Is he related to Sin at all?
I do. Well, that's actually interesting, because there's some really prominent lore scholars in a new community that I recently joined. It's a subreddit actually called Rayclass, and somebody proposed the theory that I'll get to in just a moment. So we have the Arbiter of Ash. He is the Arbiter of the 4th edict, okay? He is a construct. He's not actually a person. He was created by the ancients or by the precursors, essentially, to, I think, guard the flame seed and help start the fourth edict, which I predict is an apocalypse for the world. It's essentially a failsafe for if something goes out of control, the precursors aren't here, the ancients aren't here, the world gets destroyed. Okay? And this, the lead up to this was the first through third edicts. I think the ancients or precursors existed as the primordial forces of the world, and then there were humans. Okay? There's not a lot of different races in Path of the world of Path of Exile too. So I'm going to do the spark notes here, guys. I swear I'll go fast on the lore. There are timestamps in the description if you give zero craps about the lore. So we have the ancients and the precursors, and we have humans. And I see the ancients as kind of like the Prometheus figures. Kind of, if you correlate it to Greek mythology, where they decided to give fire to humans. They decided to introduce divinity to the world. So divinity is the magic system or source or whatever that enabled humans to ascend into godhood, okay? And what did humans do with godhood in the world of Path of Exile? They murdered millions and millions of people, and they just killed each other endlessly. All the culture and the gods,
Classic
slaughtered
move.
each other, right? So then I proposed that to combat the forces of divinity, the precursors, the ancients, whatever, the mother soul, we'll get to her maybe later, probably not, introduce corruption to the world. Because in Path of Exile, you have divinity and then you have corruption, and they're colliding forces, okay? And corruption was introduced in the form of the beast. The beast is created by what? The seed of corruption. What are we chasing in Path of Exile 2's Endgame? The flame seed, which is the apocalypse, okay? I assume there's like a divinity seed too, okay? So we have divinity, corruption is the second edict. It's supposed to face divinity. They combat, and it does not work. It does not go well. The ancients know, okay, corruption's actually getting out of control at this point. It's overcoming divinity. We need to build an instrument to fight corruption, to fight the beast. Hence the third edict, okay? What is the spear? It's the instrument of the third edict, which is, what is the spear supposed to do? Kill the beast. It's supposed to get rid of corruption, okay? Yep. I think that sin, I've been convinced of this theory, that sin is the arbiter of corruption. I think that he's not like real. He's like a construct created by the precursors, essentially. And he looks very human-like, right? And he's like God-like. I think it's all, maybe it's a retcon or whatever, but I think he's the arbiter of corruption. And he was meant to, bring the beast and corruption into the world. And then we're going to fight the arbiter of divinity in this patch. And then the arbiter of whatever, the third edict. I don't know what that is at this point, but yeah, that's like the theory. I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be interesting. Okay. So essentially, we're going through a great reset. I think Acts 5 and 6 see us killing the beast, but at great loss, and something terrible happens, and it activates the fourth edict, which is worldwide apocalypse. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And we have to stop it. That's the lore theory.
That is a massive theory that we might see some references, because the characters give banter to the different creatures we fight. So like, what is the voice lines for like the monk, the druid, and all these different ascendancy classes to, the first edict, this guy of divinity, right? I'm really curious. And also, like, how much does Doriani know? Are we going to get some more voice lines? And also, to bring it back into the content, will we get the voice lines of the Atlas Ascendancy classes? Like, are we going to interact with NPCs? And as we ascend into these different Atlas Ascendancy classes, are we get more lore drops of, like, talking to Doriani about his Ascendancy class from the monk's perspective? Or, like, the other two, right, from their perspective?
You're getting great, dude. You're segueing back into the content. That was I saw you masterclassing the wraparound back into a new. That was good. That was really good. A+.
Well, we're here to talk about 0.5, so
A+ segue.
Might as well print it back into this.
So the Atlas Masters, that was one of our predictions, that they would add Masters to PoE 2, and they ended up doing it not in the form that I thought, dude. This is kind of a wild system. So we have 3 NPCs that will be able to fundamentally change our Atlas at a whim. We can swap them with no cost, right? We got Hilda, Doriani, and Jado, and they have quests, and they completely change the Atlas. Doriani can give you an extra attempt on an ultra juiced map. Okay, that's big. That in and of itself is huge, right? And you know what else?
6 portals, but
yeah, I know. But that, like, you're a huge, low rarity.
Don't sell out my plans.
Okay, let's just say you want to farm white bases. Okay, Jado, his one of his final nodes, Keen Appraisal, 50% increased exceptional items found just across. I wonder if this applies to Atlas and then the Vaal Temple, because the Vaal Temple's on the Atlas. And like a bit like that's a great thing to kind of think about. Maybe DM and Gads will ask it in their interview. Do all these apply to Abyss and Vaal Temple and all the pinnacles? Because now it's on the Atlas, dude. It's not off the Atlas.
I mean, yeah, but like, let's real quick. We'll step in, step out. Okay, Temple was completely nerfed, but with all these added extra benefits, is it still really good? Is it gonna be good? And like, we know Abyss is gonna be insane, right?
Right.
Abyss has always been insane. So I'm really curious on the effects of these Atlas Ascendancy classes, classes, these master classes, these specialist Atlas classes, on how we're going to run content.
Yeah.
And also, like, I want to bring something up here real quick, lore-wise. Doriani is incredibly important to the story of Path of Exile 2. But Hilda and Jado are in the interludes.
Yeah.
Are they going to show up in Act 5 and 6 as much more bigger roles than what we're led on to believe? Because, like, Doriani, Act 3 and boss, right? Who's guiding us to get this weapon of the beast. Who's Hilda?
Well, no, it does make sense, because in Act 4, we go to the interludes because we're getting allies to attack Oriath. So it just means Hilda and Jado, they're going to survive essentially Act 5, Act 6, enter the endgame with us. They're going to probably be integral to whatever happens in Oriath.
That's
and whatever
what I'm curious
Act 6
about,
is.
right?
Yeah, and then, I mean, you bring up a great point, though. Like, these are they used to just be quest givers, kind of random people, right? And they're going to be Ascendancy classes. They can infinitely expand this, in the future. Now there's not only the League mechanic, the Atlas tree, the new classes that you get to play with. You have Atlas Ascendancy classes that do stuff like one of Jado's tier 1 things, dude. You know how you hate certain maps like Mire? You turn on Jado, you turn on unexpected missions. You literally do this. Corrupted Waystones open maps with 1 additional random mod. Corrupted Waystones open a random map area when used on basic maps. That means you never have to run Mire again. You never have to run in my eyes. I hate. Is it Vaal City? Is that the one with the Viper? That one again? Right?
I hate that
one.
Like
the customizability, and we've only seen 3 on Jado, 3 on Hilda, and 3 on Doriani, and we haven't even seen any of the tier 4 from Doriani. Wild.
No, we really haven't. It's gonna be special. It's 0.5 is gonna be special, right? All right.
Juicy.
Continuing on to the other piece of content of 0.5.
Wait, there's more?
There's always more. Apparently, there's always more. Okay. All right. You know what? There's not swords, but who cares? Because we have more content. Anyways, moving on from
no, you brought it up. You brought it up.
No.
We'll spend 30 seconds on this.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
People are dunking way too much on those who are disappointed that swords and duelists weren't added. Okay, but it's not for the reason you might expect. It's not because, those dummies were expecting GGG to drop it because of all the teasers and everything, and they shouldn't have had their hopes. No, it's not for that reason. The reason is simple. This is an end game focused patch. It's adding a bunch of new play styles to the game with the martial artist and the spirit walker. We'll talk about soon. All the unique. We talked about that, right? But a lot of people, believe it or not, I mean, just look at the hype leading up. They literally want probably, aside from just wizard and ranger, bow and arrow casting spells, the most generic, sought after fantasy archetype in the history of medieval video games, RPGs. They just want swords, and they're excited for swords. That's it. And if it's not in, and it's just Endgame and all this other amazing stuff, they're just gonna skip. People who are disappointed, fine. People who are sad, fine. People who are a little angry, fine. People who are dropping slurs and F-bombs in my chat, not fine. Little too far, guys. There. A little too far. So, to all my streamer friends, to you, Comet, and to everybody who's like trying to dunk on these people, some people were just disappointed. Just like lots of people were really disappointed when 0.4 wasn't an endgame patch. How freaking pissed were you? Yeah. What were you doing? You were doing what the sword people are doing. We all just need to chill, be thankful, and if we don't like what's in the patch, okay, come back next patch. What did Jonathan talk about a lot in interviews? They want people to quit the game and come back later. If they don't like the state of the game, Jonathan wants to earn your dollars and earn your playtime back at a later time. This game's not going anywhere. So if you're pissed at it now, come back in 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, whatever. Maybe it'll be better then. Okay, now we can move on. Sorry, I had to give that.
Oh, I can't respond to this?
No,
I can't
you can't.
Respond to this? This is a PSA?
You gave everything with your little... people can suck it. Let's move on.
You know what? You ready for this? Ready for this? I, too, was expecting swords. I had builds for swords. I had no idea what the skills were. I had no idea what they were going to do.
Builds for swords, guys.
But I had builds for swords.
I should take away his YouTube channel. I had mental
space for swords. I had uniques I was going to use for swords.
Where are your keys?
And yes.
Where are your keys? Give me your keys.
I, too, was disappointed that swords were not there. I looked over to my coworkers as we're watching the reveal, and I'm like, I think that's a sword. It wasn't. It was a quarterstaff, okay? But I'm an adult, and I can be disappointed, but still be very happy with what I got. And I am very happy. And by the way, we confirm that Comet is still in the game. Unlike that other skill is removed, like 0.2, right? They remove skills sometimes. Comet's still in the game. I'm happy. That's great. Awesome. Moving on. You can go.
Okay. So before the little interlude there, what were you going to bring up?
Oh, I was going to bring up probably your league starter. Maybe. We'll hold off here. There are 2 new Ascendancy classes being added in 0.5 that we know of.
True.
I have a feeling we might get a third one, but we'll talk about the first 2 here. There's the martial artist, and then there's the spirit walker. All right. There is the I'm going to punch things and stand still and have ghost punch things, and then I'm going to go ahead and collect Pokemon and play Pokemon Soul Silver in my Path of Exile 2 expansion. All right. So there's 2 different classes. I'm going to be honest, from my perspective, I'm not really keen on either. Honestly, I'm not really keen on either.
Get out of here.
I know that upsets you. I know it upsets everyone else. But like, I'm gonna be honest. You know what? I might make a martial arts build, and I'm gonna see what I can do with his standstill ability. Because if I can stand still and just have comets fly around everywhere, that would be hilarious. Spirit Walker, not. You know what? Pokemon, really cool. Gotta collect them all. Really cool. I just saw the little video they did on Spirit Walker. That's some really cool builds. Not my forte, not my play style. What's your take on this stuff?
Yeah, so I'm pumped for both of them, of course, as I am always pumped for everything. I don't like the skills that are showcased from the monk on the release page. I'm a big fan for Hollow Palm, the Fists of Stone, the way that it's helping you scale up your evasion and everything, and It's changing what your gloves do, all the modifiers. It's giving you extra mods based on your glove. That is so sick.
That is cool. That is cool. I'll give that
so
to you. That is
pumped.
really cool.
So it's like you're equipping a pair of hand wraps, like you're playing a monk in like Dungeons and Dragons Online or whatever, and you're searching for all these different hand wrap combinations, and this means that unique modifiers on gloves also change, I assume, and have unique upgrades, which will be very fun to find out all these different combinations. They did also say that the channeling standstill ability that looks a little stupid is a cast while moving now. So that's great because now you're not just standing still, you actually get to move. I think if you're standing still, I would never take that. Casting while moving, I might actually take that now. So
I think you should have both options, but if you stand still, your attacks are faster.
Okay. Okay, so you kind of do that in boss fights maybe, and then while
100%.
you're clearing packs, you go, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'm very pumped for the martial artist. It's probably my league starter. The new uniques that are being showcased are making me want to swap my plans, but I have to remember that the new uniques are not guaranteed. They could be 50% drop rate, they could be 2% drop rate, right? I could never get them, and if I want to play SSF, right, there's no guarantee I'll get the new shield from Tool and Ash that bounces around. That looks so sick. So I think I'm gonna base my starter on the Ascendancy as opposed to unique, and of the two, martial artist looks cooler, although I'm never a minion guy. I played minions once in Path of Exile 1. It was not fun. It was back in Heist League. I did a Skellymancer, but the video that they released showcasing the Zookeeper build, right, and that's just one combination, right? Oh man, it's pulling me over. It's pulling me over, along with like the stags that now give the shocked ground, so you get a giga damage boost almost all the time. I might do both, but I think I'm 80-20 on what I'm starting on right now. That's gonna be martial artist.
Yeah, and don't forget the combo attack that Spear has, that if your person you're attacking is shocked, it also spawns a bunch of stags that come in, fly in.
True.
I saw
Strikes.
that combo. Primal Strikes, exactly right. Yep. That would be really sick, honestly. I've always tried to get that to work, but I felt really awkward using it on Spear. So like, I mean, like, hey, that's now like a solution. That's really cool, honestly. I mean, it's really cool idea. It's really cool stuff, and I might go the Pokemon Trainer route. I was planning on doing Pokemon Trainer with a different class that's not the Huntress. But you say not to talk about builds right now because you know the patch notes. So I mean, like, hey, that's pretty cool. However, there is an Ascendancy class that if they shadow drop, I will be playing, and that is, of course, the Arcane Archer. I was expecting the Arcane Archer in this patch. That was another thing I was expecting. I know, yep, you were expecting it. And honestly, I think there might be a chance that they shadow drop it, just like what they did with the Sorceress Ascendancy class they did with last league.
Disciple of Farashta. Yeah, they could do one of the video, like they just did the 7-minute video for Spirit Walker.
Yeah.
They could drop that, you know, the week of launch, and people would just lose their minds completely.
Yeah. Obliterator bow prices go through the roof at that point in time. Everyone wants an Obliterator bow.
Yeah. Yeah, Arcane Archer, I mean, when it comes into the game, that's definitely going to be a fun archetype. And I know it'll be a special one for you because it does appear to be working with a lot of triggers. And you were always an Arcane Archer fan.
Yeah, I played Arcane Archer in every single game that I could play an Arcane Archer in. So, I mean, like, I will have to play this one. Like, this is a requirement from my end.
It'll be good. It'll be good. You know what I'm not too confident will be good?
Oh, lay it on me. Negative try, disappointed try. What are you not happy about? The one thing,
and people are raking me over the coals over this, saying that, you know, I'm complaining about nothing, or that I just need to engage with it, or that it won't be overwhelming. I do understand what people are saying. It just feels like if it feels like too much for me, I do feel like it'll be too much for people who haven't played games like these for, you know, almost a decade. The Ruins of Elder League. Okay, the
Mhm,
monsters look
mhm,
sick,
mhm,
the areas look sick, the whole
mhm.
concept interesting. But this league, it's a crafting league, 100%,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
introduces metacrafting in the form of socketables and more socketables to the game. I think it's 160
Yep.
plus new socketables, bringing the total amount of socketables in PoE2 to 10,182. So I'm just a little worried about the sheer volume of these things that you'll be, slotting into your weapons, getting rid of almost forever, because when you use a socketable, unless you go into the Vaal Temple and extract it out, it's gone, right? I don't know. What are your people know my I've talked about this to death at this point. That's the only thing that leaves me skeptical about this new league. What do you think about the socketable system as someone who hasn't really been exposed to anything else in ARPGs? Is it kind of
Ooh.
is it is it
Ooh.
manageable? Is it intuitive?
You, you, my good sir, are
Uh-oh.
falling into a slight trap specific to me.
Oh.
Okay? So I am ecstatic and excited for this completely new system of socketables.
Oh.
First off, this is a socketable sink. So socketables should be more expensive and thus be more worthy to sell. I'm stoked by that, all right? In this league, just a side note, they've added so many sinks for divs, for breach rings, for all these items. So I'm really pumped how the eco is going to look here. But going back to the socketable conversation here, to me, this league mechanic looks very similar. This is a Path of Exile 2 podcast, guys. To a Minecraft mod I played all the time in my younger days called Thaumcraft, where you had to take certain ruins and attach them together and you get different outputs. The entire book looks like that, the vibe looks like that. Grafting these sockets onto a stone and getting different outcomes looks like that. So, like, this is kind of tapping into part of my childhood that I know you did not experience, but I just like grinded over hours and hours on Thaumcraft, trying to get this and trying to get those different aspects and combine them together to get my golems. All right. So I see this new league mechanic and I'm just like really stoked about it, honestly. Yeah, you're like, oh, it's gonna be like 10,000 socketables. How am I ever gonna manage all these socketables? I think that would not be a problem whatsoever, honestly.
Okay.
And I'm excited there's more socketables. Please give me more socketables. Please make the Iron Rune not the only best rune in slot for most items, all right? The
Right.
socketable that converts all of your elemental damage into one elemental type, that's awesome. That's great. I want more of that, right? And stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Make socketables not just stat increases, which I think they're doing with this update. And I severely
Right.
appreciate that. This is great.
I think at a high level, socketables are fine. A lot of the rare
Mhm.
socketables do quite interesting things. I think where socketables are problematic are the lesser, regular, and greater variations that
Mhm.
I think that they might add more of with this update. I just, I think it's kind of a convoluted system, especially during initial progression. But once you hit like level 90s and you're not upgrading your items nearly as often, I think they add that extra layer of customizability that is desired by a lot of players who do hit that threshold.
Mhm.
I think it's the
Mhm.
whole journey leading up to that I'm just a little iffy on.
So I have a terrible opinion here that I'll probably get like,
Go for
dunked
it.
on.
Do it.
I think the Iron Rune should be removed from the game.
Hmm. Because it's BIS for a lot of builds, for a lot of
It is
progression.
best, it's best in slot for most builds, right? What were socketables pitched as? From what I remember, these were items that should be used on your gear to fix your build. Missing 10% fire res, add a socketable. Missing XYZ, add a socketable. But the issue becomes is that like the Iron Rune just is best in slot. You have all your res fixed. Maybe you don't even have your res fixed. You don't want to put a glacier socket in there when
Mm.
you can add in an iron rune and increase your defenses to way the max, right? And honestly, I think that socketables have kind of shifted in their purpose in Path of Exile 2. They were pitched as ways to fix your builds. Now, 0.5 looks like they're not only ways to fix your builds, they are aspects of your build to make it even more unique. We saw a little bit of this with the previous Socketables where like you can start your, if you spend 2,000 mana, you can start your energy shield recharge. They're adding more like that, it appears. So are Socketables' purpose still to fix your build? Or are these build defining, is this another build defining mechanic? Right?
Well, 100%.
So,
I mean, with the addition of something that'll probably have a 100% drop rate, everybody will be able to get it. Olroth's Legacy, that's the Socketable that can remove unique affixes from Kalgur and Azomite uniques, and you can socket them into item. I'm sure everybody will get that. You know, these 100% will be build defining at this point. They are evolving the system by a great degree, and I don't think there's a world in which they're getting rid of it at this point. I think they're going to do kind of what they've done with the Infinite Atlas and try to get it into either a beloved or serviceable position for the lovers and the haters like myself. So I'll be along for the ride. I grow scared of the meme that I saw of legitimately 10,000 Socketables in 5 years, you know.
I mean, try. You're playing Path of Exile. What do you expect? For this gonna be a simple game?
I know. What am I doing? I'm crazy. I'm absolutely crazy. Not going to be simple at all. Just like all these new Kalguran skills, dude. I don't know. There's 25 of them, I think. 25 plus. I don't even. And they all use Runic Ward now, which is the new resource. I don't even.
All right.
I probably won't even touch this, honestly.
Stop. Runic Ward feels like an absolute band-aid for missing health, for missing life, right? Life on tree. We don't want life on tree. No life on tree. But we're dying in one hit, all right? I got like defense is like really, really difficult to build at times. Where's my life? Like to make evasion and armor better, I need life. So I need to not have as much armor and evasion because it takes a prefix slot. Okay. Here's Runic War. Like it just feels like a complete like band-aid over the life issue, honestly, Runic Ward. And now it's gonna like also be like a mana for certain skills. It's definitely a really weird spot. We have to see how can I regenerate it? How can I like manage it? Well, how much it's gonna cost? How much am I gonna lose in this? It's definitely be really interesting to see these builds come out that are using Runic Ward. Real quick question. Is it going to be busted? Do you think there's a way that you can bust Runic Ward?
Yeah, because it looks like it'll be scalable with certain items. Like we saw the Brass Dome giving you 800 Runic Ward. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of combinations that people will be able to break here. I don't know. It seems it's kind of what you just said about the Socketables. What did I expect from Path of Exile 2? Like, do they work on maybe improving variety of current existing resources that have to do with life and survivability? Or do they just add a brand new one in and say like, all right, we're going to add this to the mix. You can use it literally on life, evasion, energy shield, armor, everybody. We're going to just let you have at it. So it also doesn't work like I initially thought it worked, where you literally can't get one shot anymore. You can still get one shot. It's it's literally extra life, but it's Runic Ward.
It's just extra life.
Yeah, right? It's literally extra life, but it's Runic Ward and it recovers differently. So it's like you got life, you got energy shield, and then you have Runic energy shield. So it's so funny.
Is this just energy shield for evasion and armor builds?
Hey. It's a slightly different blue.
Guys. Energy shield isn't just life.
It's dark. It's dark blue life. Energy shield is blue life. This is dark blue life. I think it's dark blue. I think it's dark blue.
It's like a ward in your health pool. It like looks weird. Yep. It's hard to see it from what I understand.
Right.
I mean, like, it's kind of weird because they're like, we don't want you to scale health on passive skill tree, which is like, you know what? I kind of understand that. And it appears that they are giving us more sources of life with that new ring base. 5% increased life, maximum life, right?
Right.
So it's like they're not against us increasing our life, but it's going to take equipment slots
I think they just don't want
instead
to put it
of
on the tree.
passive things.
Yeah, they want to put it in
Yeah, yeah,
equipment.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. It's just kind of weird. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that it scales enough naturally
Mm,
for a lot of builds. Like I remember playing evasion builds, and they had to add like it felt like they had to add deflectin as another defensive layer for evasion
right.
because evasion just didn't have the life to get hit. Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely a weird mechanic. I also kind of like how they grafted this new league onto Expedition. Like it's not just like, oh, it interacts with Expedition. There's like full on parts of this league that are locked behind Expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
So like honestly, that's pretty cool. I don't know how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like the evolving quest line, and I like the interconnectedness between the two, especially with the focus on Expedition being a whole new section of the Atlas. Obviously, the other ones are layered on top of the Atlas. This is just
Mhm.
literally, all right, go chart the seas. Go past King's March
Okay.
and chart the seas. It does feel worthy to combine two leagues into one and
Yeah.
plot them there. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped to see how it all plays out. And I do hope that the Runes of Elder mechanic is not as complex as I think it's gonna be. Maybe I'll get once I actually get my hands on it, maybe it'll feel a lot better. Because that happens.
It,
I go back to like
mhm.
Necropolis and Path of Exile 1. I know you haven't played it, but that was like a
Yep.
menu heavy league, and it was a crafting league, and that was probably one of my bottom 3 leagues of all time. Like if
Mhm.
if you start interacting with the UI a poop load, it just, I don't know. Something. It's just like the whole build planner in game and the price checker in game. You know, yay, they're in game. I'm so glad. That's so awesome. You get to keep in game. I don't like using I don't like spending my time in menus. I know like Hideout Warriors. There's Hideout Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
enjoy
yeah.
doing it. I like playing the game. So I don't know. It'll just see how it is. The ping pong there.
Well, you sound quite down about the new league mechanic.
No, I'm not down. I
You
just,
do. You do. You sound kind
I'm
of down. You're like
tempering
you're so timid.
my
You're so timid.
expectations.
All right, all right. Temper your expectations. But I must ask you about one thing. Genesis Tree and Breach.
Hmm.
Is that too complex for you? Are
No.
you scared of that? Or is that going to be
No.
like cuz like that looks cool to me. That
Yeah.
looks like really straightforward, right?
Yeah. It's straightforward. Everything lives on the tree itself. You don't have to juggle a bunch of different items and have them disappear into sockets. No. No, I did it in PoE1, the Genesis tree. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm pretty pumped for that. Being able to print specifically just jewelry and currency,
Yeah.
hyper focus in on that. If you need jewelry at the time, that's great. And then you can like craft amulets too with Delirium after pooping them out with the breach tree. Like there are all these different layered
Oh.
interactions here. It's gonna be May 31st. It just can't come soon, or May 29th can't come fast enough, dude. Like I got
It's
all this, so many things going on. Like my birthday is on Friday, and work and all this. I don't know. It's gonna be a journey, dude.
it will 100% be a journey. I might just not sleep.
No, I will
No, no,
sleep.
no sleep. No,
I
no
will
sleep.
sleep.
No sleep. No sleep. No sleep.
You'll
Gotta kill
sleep.
the first edict, boy. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep going.
Who do you think between me or you will kill the the Arbiter of Divinity first? I'm gonna play SSF if I can.
Oh, if you're playing SSF,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do it first. I'm not playing SSF. I'm just going straight in. I'm just gonna kill the man.
Okay, we'll see
Kill.
about that. I'm pretty sure I
Yeah,
can beat
100%.
you. I think I can beat you on SSF.
Oh, okay,
I can.
okay. Are we doing this again? Are we
Yeah.
gonna do it again, brother?
Maybe we'll think
Okay, okay.
about some terms
So,
here.
terms. Throw terms. Okay. So every def is another 15 minutes adds the time. We do slash played.
No,
So you
we're
take
not
your
going to do
slash
the
play-
terms
No,
here on the
not doing
podcast.
that?
No. No, let's
He's afraid.
no.
I got him on the run,
We'll
guys.
do the terms at a different time. No.
Oh,
I wanted to
okay.
pick your brain about at least one more thing,
Okay,
because
all right.
this league is adding one of my all-time favorite systems from Path of Exile 1 to Path of Exile 2. And some people kind of laugh at my face that I'm pumped by it, but I'm a fashion wars person. I love to dress up my characters. And this league is adding challenges to the game. You know, identify 50 unique. They're really basic challenges. They're really easy. But
Yeah.
if you complete all 8, you get probably one of the best looking armor sets in the history of Path of Exile 2 so far, better than what's in the supporter packs of this league for sure. Are you one of the people that will try to chase all 8? Like, do you care at all about getting like, hey, I was here. This will never be sold again. You will never be able to earn it again. It's exclusive and it's not bought. It's something that you earned. Is that something that kind of pushes you to go further, or do you not care about it?
100% I will be doing those challenges. Because like this was missing from the game, right? You were talking about these challenges in Path of Exile 1, and you're like, oh, in Path of Exile 1, you got these challenges, you gotta do these certain things. And I'm just over here being like, where is it in PoE 2? I mean, like, they learned so many lessons in Path of Exile 1. Where is the import button? Give me the import button. Import this mechanic, please. Import this challenge, please. Right? And now we have it in Path of Exile 2. I'm 100% going for that. One of my biggest complaints in the end game of like 0.4 and 0.3 is that it was directionless.
So many directions.
While this is yeah, there's so many directions, right? Yeah, there's so many directions. I can still go the exact same number of routes as I could in 0.4, but a lot of the routes now in 0.5, to me, before even getting the end game, I feel like I have meaning in the end game. Adding meaning, and the challenges add meaning to the end game. These storylines add meaning. The economy adds meaning. So I'm so excited. Okay. I'll be those challenges. I'll do them before you.
Okay.
I'll do them weekend.
That
weekend.
also won't happen.
Easy.
But that's okay. You're
easy.
You're aspirational right now. You really are. I do appreciate that. I applaud you. Yeah, when I outside looking in at this, I was thinking about it earlier, and the start of the new end game almost feels like a sandbox D&D campaign where you have these 6 or 7 different points of interest, and you can just venture out in any which direction you please and progress each story. And I'm really pumped to see if it feels like that, and it just doesn't look like that. Like, because of course, you know, when you actually contact it, live it, play it, it's way different. But regardless, it looks sick.
Yeah. Do we got time for one more discussion topic?
Yes, what is it?
Co-op changes in Path of Exile 2. I personally have so many friends who love playing co-op, but Path of Exile 2 at Endgame kills it. Now you're able to progress in the Atlas tree in a co-op pair. This adds what I feel like a party play experience in Path of Exile 2, which I am hyped for. I'm excited for. What's your thoughts?
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. I mean, I'm glad that they were able to engineer a solution. Now the only loss when you're playing co-op is one person just won't progress their actual Atlas nodes, but they'll still get all the power that's in the Atlas points, which is awesome. The only thing that pushes me out from playing co-op is the mess on screen. It's rough. Honestly, that is it. The visual clarity, that is the poopiest part. That's why I don't really like it. I can't even see what's going on the screen sometimes when I'm playing solo. When I play with a party member, especially if that person likes to use cast on abilities, man, I mean, it becomes super tough to do anything boss-wise.
Okay, what if, hear me out, I don't play a certain skill and we do co-op?
I mean, I would do that. I would play co-op.
Okay.
I would do that.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to, do a build, we can progress together.
I'll do a build that does not involve a certain skill.
There you go. Then we can play. We can progress.
There you go. Okay. Good. I just gotta swear off Spark and I'm good. Good to know. Okay.
No.
So
all right. With that, I mean, we covered almost everything in 0.5. Haha, just kidding. We missed a bunch of stuff,
No,
but
we missed ritual.
It's impossible. It's impossible to get it all, but I think we'll do another one of these before the launch. Maybe after patch notes are out, we can talk about league starters. That'll be super exciting. It's going to be a jam-packed teaser season. They keep dropping new news every day right now, so I expect some bombs to come out pretty soon. I think Arcane Archer's coming, honestly.
Arcane Archer, and you know what? I have a prediction. One of the teaser trailers is going to be a slight patch note reveal, and it's going to reveal on the skill gem section that Comet is going to get 5 different buffs.
All right, a little bit unhinged, but we always end the podcast unhinged with something about Comet. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, you guys. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Cast On Comet's channel that has 0 videos and 0 content, but 150 plus subscribers or something crazy like that. Make sure to leave a comment below. Like the topics, dislike the topics, agree, disagree. We just want to know. Let us know, and we'll probably engage with them in some way, shape, or form. I think Cast On was in the comments of the last video, so maybe he'll be there again.
Maybe. I'll be casting comments if I'm there. That's it.
What an outro. Cheers.